Traditional Tet. Tet Nguyen Dan is the traditional Tet holiday of Vietnamese people. This is also an occasion for Vietnamese families to reunite and gather after a busy year. For foreigners, Vietnamese Tet is a new experience. A week or even a month before Tet, Vietnamese people spend time cleaning their houses with the strong belief that it is to get rid of the bad luck of the old year, ready to welcome good luck in the new year. Vietnamese people also care about buying new clothes for children to dress up in the first days of the year. In contrast to the bustling atmosphere of normal days, Tet in Vietnam in the eyes of foreigners is extremely peaceful. All offices, service establishments and shops are closed, except for hospitals. On the streets there are very few means of transportation. Traditional Tet always has flowers and kumquat trees in the house. Peach blossoms are favored by northerners, while southerners prefer apricot blossoms because of their splendid beauty. Besides the traditional delicious dishes, Vietnamese Tet always has chung cake and phai fruit tray. Everything Vietnamese people do is to wish for a lucky and happy new year.
Unique floating markets in the West. Floating markets are a unique cultural feature that only people living in the river areas have. Floating markets are markets where sellers and buyers are forced to use boats as a means of transportation. Usually, the market will be held early in the morning at the intersections of canals and rivers where the water level is not too low, not too high. Floating markets are not only places to buy and sell fresh fruits, agricultural products, and many other items, but they also attract tourists to visit and enjoy exploring the special lifestyle of the river areas. The most famous floating market is the largest floating market in the West, Khai Rang in Can Tho. The market is open from 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. on normal days, but on days close to Tet, the market seems to be open all day, always bustling and bustling. The highlight of this market is the sale of famous agricultural products such as Vinh Long grapefruit, Lai Vung pink grapefruit, Khai Mon durian, Tra Vinh wax coconut. In addition to exchanging and buying and selling, visitors from all over can also enjoy specialties right on the boats selling goods. Sitting and drinking coffee or going to the bars on the floating market will also be an experience. The second place is Khai Bi Market. This market has a unique feature that it is suitable from late at night from 2 a.m. to around 8 a.m. when the market closes. This market is mainly a transit point for fruits to all regions and also sells household items, fabrics, household appliances. You can come across boats selling noodles, pho, vermicelli. Having breakfast on the river and watching the bustling atmosphere of the morning market is also a new and impressive way for tourists not only domestically but also internationally.
Learning Vietnamese is not easy. Storms are not as bad as Vietnamese grammar. That's right, Vietnamese is very difficult for foreigners to learn to write and speak. Many foreigners, when they first start learning Vietnamese, think that Vietnamese is a complex language system and is difficult to master. When foreigners practice speaking Vietnamese, due to the complexity of the tones, they often come up with immortal sayings that are both silly and funny. In addition, Vietnamese people have many pronouns such as Mr., Mrs., Aunt, Uncle, Father, Mother, while English, a common foreign language, only has two words you and me, so when speaking Vietnamese, foreigners fall into situations that are both funny and sad, not knowing which word to use correctly. Vietnamese is rich and has many expressions. Therefore, foreigners must live or stay here for a long time to be able to speak Vietnamese correctly. International visitors when setting foot in Vietnam are often very happy when if you meet Vietnamese people, communicate with them in English. Otherwise, most people choose to express themselves through gestures and posture.
Peaceful Vietnam. Vietnam is a peaceful country. That is the comment of international tourists when visiting and staying in Vietnam. The common point of all people is that they feel safe because this place does not have to face overwhelming gunfire, there are no terrorist attacks, and they never see riots. A Western photographer once said, "Vietnam is one of the safest and most peaceful countries I have ever been to, the people here are very kind." The potential of the Vietnamese people is huge, they want and know how to work. The Vietnamese are trying to do everything to make tourists from all over the world love their country, with its ancient and rich history, with beautiful and rich nature, with interesting traditions and wonderful cuisine. In Vietnam, every waking day is peaceful. The nature here is also gentle, without earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis.
Iced milk coffee. Vietnamese coffee not only has a wonderful pure flavor, grown and processed from vast coffee farms in the Central Highlands, but also leaves a mark in the eyes of tourists with its unique combinations, exciting shop locations. Vietnamese coffee always impresses tourists with its delicious flavor and many wonderful variations. For foreigners, the most impressive is still iced milk coffee. In Vietnam, this is a familiar and typical drink. For years ago, iced milk coffee was voted by Bloomberg News Agency as one of the top 10 best drinks in the world, proving the incredible appeal of this coffee drink. Iced milk coffee is extremely familiar to Vietnamese people, morning or night, in shops or on the sidewalk. People often enjoy this drink. Iced milk coffee is memorable for those who have drunk it when visiting Vietnam.
Pho. Pho is the most typical dish in Vietnam. Even people who have not been to Vietnam when asked what to eat here do not hesitate to answer pho. And of course, when coming to Vietnam, pho is always on the list of must-eats. Pho has become a favorite and familiar dish of foreign tourists. Most international visitors can name pho, a nutritious, delicious specialty that can be eaten at any time of the day. The main ingredients of pho are pho noodles and broth, or broth as the southern name, along with thinly sliced beef or chicken. In addition, there are spices such as soy sauce, pepper, lemon, fish sauce, chili. These spices are added depending on the taste of each person. In the southern provinces of Vietnam and some other regions, pho is served with a plate of herbs such as onions, bean sprouts and coriander leaves, basil, of which coriander is the typical leaf of pho. However, in Hanoi, this raw vegetable dish is not available. Pho is usually beef pho or chicken pho, but sometimes there are other variations such as seafood pho, mixed pho, stir-fried pho.
Lots of motorbikes. Vietnam ranks 4th in the top countries for motorbike consumption in the world, so traffic is quite chaotic and even dangerous. The first thing tourists need to learn when coming to Vietnam is the skill of crossing the road. For many people, crossing the road is a risky journey. Even on many travel forums, tourists exchange tips on crossing the road in Vietnam. During rush hours on weekends and holidays, the number of motorbikes on the road is unimaginable. Traffic jams also often occur in the city, during work hours and after work. The dust on the streets and the loud honking of horns will make you feel tired and frustrated about Vietnam's road traffic. This is also considered a specialty of our country.
The world's largest cave. Sun Dong Cave in Quang Binh Province topped the list of new destinations of the 21st century voted by Smithsonian Science magazine. Sun Dong is the world's largest natural cave. Since being exploited for tourism in 2013, Sun Dong has become increasingly known and attracted many visitors, especially those who love adventure and exploration. The New York Times ranked Sun Dong Cave at number 8 out of 52 places in the list of places to visit in 2014. Sun Dong Cave was formed about 2 to 5 million years ago, when river water flowed across the limestone area that had been buried along a fault line. The water eroded and created a giant tunnel underground under the mountain range. In places where the rock was soft, the ceiling collapsed, creating holes, over time forming giant cave arches. The cave is 150 meters wide, over 200 meters high, and nearly 9 kilometers long. The estimated capacity of Sun Dong Cave is 38.5 million cubic meters, equivalent to 15,000 Olympic swimming pools. In addition, some sections of Sun Dong Cave are as large as 140 m x 140 m, with stalactites up to 14 m high. A stunning photo taken by photographer Karsten Peter in May 2010 recorded a section of the cave with a width of about 91.44 m, a ceiling height of nearly 243.84 m, enough to accommodate a 40-story building. In the cave, researchers also found a 2.5 kilometers long underground river and stalactites up to 70 m high. The cave has coral reefs and fossilized animal remains.
World Heritage. Natural heritage, cultural heritage, intangible cultural heritage, creating unique marks of Vietnam, found nowhere else. Visitors from all over the world come to admire the landscapes such as Ha Long Bay, Phong Nha Ke Bang National Park, Trang An, learn about the culture and historical relics such as Hue Imperial City, Ho Dynasty Citadel, or enjoy the unique features of Central Highlands gongs and royal court music. Our country has 22 heritages recognized by UNESCO, including World Natural Heritage, Ha Long Bay, Phong Nha Ke Bang National Park, Dong Van Stone Plateau. World Tangible Cultural Heritage, Complex of Hue Monuments, Hoi an Ancient Town, My Sun Sanctuary, Tang Long Imperial Citadel, Ho Dynasty Citadel. Intangible Cultural Heritage, Hue Royal Court Music, Central Highlands Gong Cultural Space, Quan Ho Folk Songs, Sia Tru, Jong Festival, Phu Tho Zone Singing, Hung King Worship, Don Sia Tai Tu, Ne Tin Vai Jiam. World Documentary Heritage, Nguyen Dynasty Woodblocks, Doctoral Stele of Van Mu Quoc Tu Jiam, Buddhist Scripture Woodblocks of Vin Neon Pagoda, Nguyen Dynasty Administrative Records. Mixed Cultural Heritage, Trang An Scenic Complex, Ninh Binh.
Long coastline. Vietnam has a coastline of over 3,260 kilometers from Mong Khai in the north to Ha Tien in the southwest, not including the coastline of the islands, ranking 27th out of 157 coastal countries, island nations, and territories in the world. With over 3,000 large and small islands, including the two archipelagos of Hong Sa and Truong Sa, Vietnam is considered one of the countries with great potential and advantages in marine and island resources. Vietnam Sea is extremely favored by Mother Nature, endowed with a myriad of beauty. The coastline from Mong Khai, Quang Ninh to Du Sun, Hai Phong, is a limestone mountain range of Dong Tru, which has sunk down and been covered by seawater, turning the mountains into thousands of islands of various shapes and sizes, creating the Ha Long Scenic Area, which is listed by UNESCO as one of the most beautiful natural landscapes in the world. The Central Coast from Sam Son, Ton Hoa, to the Central Coast stretches and curves, interwoven with many forms of high sand dunes or alluvial sand due to the alluvium of rivers flowing into the sea. The southern coast has a small mountain area, which is Vung Tau, a famous tourist and resort area. The rest are alluvial flats at the mouths of the Mekong River, mangrove forests in Sia Mau, and finally a group of limestone mountains in Ha Tien, Kien Giang, part above the shore, part under the sea, creating a natural landscape similar to Ha Long in the north.
Friendly and hospitable people. Friendliness and hospitality have long been the reason why tourists come to Vietnam. Wherever they go, they can see the gentle smiles of Vietnamese people. Despite the big language barrier, Vietnamese people are always generous in helping tourists. Local people are always ready to help you at any time. They can take you for free on their own cars and tell you a lot about the city. Friendly Vietnam has been a keyword for those who have set foot on the S-shaped land. The article on Hub Pages when talking about Vietnam emphasized, the beautiful impression is the smile of the people here. They smile at anyone, anywhere in any situation.
Unique street food. In Vietnam, the most diverse are small roadside eateries, and that is the best place to eat. Street food is extremely unique and diverse from region to region. Rich dishes such as pho, vermicelli, banh xeo, grilled dishes, etc. Street food also represents the dynamic and friendly lifestyle of Vietnamese people. At any time, we can find all classes and ages of Vietnamese people gathering at roadside stalls, on the sidewalk. This excitement and bustle always makes foreign visitors excited. CNN Go wrote, America has given birth to mobile restaurants, but Vietnam is truly a street food paradise. Nowhere else has a culinary culture like this place.